Talk about awkward. A California family is being forced to live with the nanny the parents fired 3 weeks ago. Look at this video showing Diane Stretton getting served papers to get out. Notice instead of walking out the door, she's walking into her room. The family says that Stretton started out as this awesome live-in caregiver, but then she stopped working for health reasons. Instead of cooking their dinners, the mom was preparing meals for the 64-year-old woman. So, not too long ago, June 6th, Stretton was fired. But as you see, this nanny isn't leaving and has threatened to sue the family if she is forced out of the family's home. And a judge just ruled in the nanny's favor because this is all based on a technicality.
She wouldn't do anything. She stayed in her room 90% of the day. So I really did try to work with her. And she just stayed in her room all day. And so I told her, you know, either you perform or you got to leave.
If you're confused over this one, Sarah Seidner is going to help us understand that. She's live outside the family home there, we hope, in Upland, California. Sarah, this is kind of nuts. How did the judge side with the nanny?
Well, here's the thing. There are rules here in California. And basically what we're seeing are tenant rules. When she got this job, she made their home, the Bracamontes home, her residence. And so now what the courts have basically said and what the sheriff's department has told the family is you have to go through legal proceedings. You have to go through the court to try and get her evicted. And sometimes that's a long process. This family is beside themselves. They are terrified about having this woman in their home who they've already fired, who they no longer want around their children. They've even put a lock on their refrigerator door, turned off the internet, tried everything to try and get her to move out of this house. But so far, she is still living here. Let you hear what the family talked about after they were heard from law enforcement that they had to actually go to court, that firing her and telling her to leave was not enough.
Because when I called the police, they're telling me it's now a civil matter and that I have to evict her. So this lady is welcome inside my house anytime she wants, to eat my food anytime she wants, and harass me, basically. I'm now a victim in my own home, and it's completely legal.
Now this person is in our house. I have to go to work. My kids are still here. My wife is still here. She towers over my wife and kids, and I know that there's nothing I can do about it.
Now, here's a quick update because we heard from the family and from neighbors. The nanny, Diane Stretton, has actually left the house. She left at 5 in the morning and has not yet returned. They are fearful that she will return and try to claim back the room that she's been living in. Brooke?
So I'm assuming they can't lock the door because that would then be illegal. Can you answer that for me? And then also, I'm assuming this family is going to follow all the proper eviction procedures and go about this and get her out eventually.
They're doing what they need to do. They say they're trying to do what they need to do to remove her from the home legally. Yeah, they can't just lock the door because that goes against the rules. I want to mention one more thing that we think is pretty important here. We took a look at Diane Stretton and this particular list that exists here in California. She has been called a vexatious litigant. And what that legal mumbo jumbo basically means is that she files a lot of lawsuits that don't necessarily have a lot of merit. So the family is afraid that suddenly this woman could try to take their home or try to get money from them, and they are just trying to do everything they can to fight this. Remember, they've got 3 little kids who are in the middle of this, and they want to protect them as well, Brooke.